last weekend, Cinco de Mayo weekend, a big boxing weekend. There were 3 days, 3 cards. Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney fought. Even Canelo Alvarez, the face of boxing. But none of them truly delivered. The guy who delivered was the monster, Naoya Inoue, once again secured an 8th round knockout after being knocked down in the 2nd round. And this fight with Cardenas was a classic. This was an incredible fight, and it was an incredible cap to the weekend because all weekend long, it started on Friday night, we had Ryan Garcia lose to Rolly Romero, being knocked down in the 2nd round. We had Devin Haney kind of have a little bit of a stinker against Arnold Barbosa. We had Teofimo Lopez win his fight, and Canelo Alvarez then on Saturday against William Skull had one of the least memorable performances I can confidently say of his recent career. But the thing that I think needs to be discussed more is not even the big fighters having big matchups, because on paper Ryan Garcia was a big favorite against Rolly Romero, but I think the big fighters needed to do a better job of just delivering, because flat out Ryan Garcia, he had the thing in April of 2024. He knocked Devin Haney down multiple times, then tested positive, returns a year later, and he puts out a stinker, and so does Devin Haney, who won by unanimous decision. But the one guy who has finished 20 of his last 21 opponents, Naoya Inoue, as I mentioned, Ramin Cardenas, he knocked him out. And this guy, to me, is a top 3 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing. It's that simple. He's that good. He's that consistent. And he's the super bantamweight undisputed champion at 122 pounds. 30-0, 27 knockouts. This guy, it was great to see him for the first time in, I believe, 4 years to fight in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it was great to see that after Friday and Saturday, as I mentioned, were quite boring nights of boxing, to just put it flat out. It was great to see that there still is some hope left, and Naoya Inoue did put on a phenomenal performance, as he normally does, and he really was the lone star of the weekend that showed up. And that's the problem, and that's kind of been the theme of Canelo Alvarez his last, he's won 6 straight fights by decision, and since he lost Dimitri Bivol a couple years ago, he seemed a little gun-shy and doesn't seem like the same aggressive Canelo Alvarez that we've once saw. But after that fight Saturday night, Terrence Crawford, the former undisputed welterweight champion and former 2-division undisputed champion, said, or not said, Turki Al-Sheikh actually announced that Canelo versus Crawford will go down in September at Allegiant Stadium, and Turki Al-Sheikh will promote the event alongside his new partner in Dana White, and this new TKO type of boxing kind of promotion. It doesn't have a name yet, but they're going to start it off with a bang, and they're going to start it off with one of the biggest box office boxing fights of the last decade plus. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford. You don't have too many better boxers on the earth right now, and there aren't too many bigger stars than those two guys. It's that simple. That fight should be phenomenal. Terrence Crawford moving up in weight, and I think with this kind of dull performance from Canelo, it gives Terrence Crawford and the Terrence Crawford backers a little bit of momentum, because although I do believe Crawford will be an underdog in that fight, I think the fight is a lot closer now than when kind of at first was rumored and talked about months ago, because Canelo just, like I said, he just hasn't showed a lot of enthusiasm in his performances, and I think that gives, Crawford a little leg up here. But overall, that was a great announcement and it kind of was great because the fight wasn't great that night, but that one was amazing, and I want to see more of Naoya Inoue in the United States in prime time. He was on prime time Sunday night on ESPN. I want to see more of that, because the more this guy is in front of primetime audiences in the United States, the bigger of a star he will become. He is just phenomenal. I have him right up there with Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford, as some of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world today. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I'm Ryan Wohl. If you want more combat sports news and breakdowns, hit that subscribe button right here. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time.